I still remember the music that night. The bass was pounding, the lights were flashing, everyone around me was laughing and dancing. It was my junior year of college at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, a spring formal for one of the campus organizations. I was 22 years old. I had squeezed myself into the only dress I owned that still fit, a deep blue size 22 dress that I had bought 2 years earlier. It was tight on my arms, tight across my stomach, but I told myself it would be fine. I thought maybe no one would notice if I just stayed in the corner. But then the moment came. The music shifted to a slow song. Couples paired off, girls squealed, guys laughed nervously as they asked someone to dance. My friends drifted away one by one until I was the only one left sitting, alone, at a table pushed against the wall. I tried to smile like it didn't bother me, but my chest burned. The truth was no one asked me, not one person, not even out of pity. And I knew why, because of my size. Because I was the funny big girl in the group, never the girl someone wanted to hold close under the lights. I sat there, staring at my untouched soda, feeling the music echo inside of me like a cruel reminder. I told myself I didn't care, but the tears stung my eyes. And in that moment, something inside me cracked, something I couldn't tape back together this time. I whispered to myself, if I can learn to control my mind, if I can truly control it, then my weight loss is only a matter of time. That was the night everything changed. My name is Rachel Miller. I was born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee. By the time I was 22, I weighed 268 pounds at 5'5". My family was loving, but food was always at the center of everything. Fried chicken on Sundays, biscuits and gravy for breakfast, sweet tea that was more sugar than tea, and late night snacks. Those were my personal downfall. Pop-Tarts, Doritos, McDonald's drive-thru after class. I avoided mirrors, I avoided cameras, I avoided anything that would remind me of my body. I told jokes to distract people, acted bubbly, tried to make everyone laugh. But inside, I hated myself. Every time I went shopping with friends, I had to pretend to browse while quietly drifting toward the plus-size section. I wore hoodies even in summer because I didn't want anyone to see the rolls on my arms. My health was starting to break down too. By 21, my doctor told me my cholesterol was high. At 22, she said I was pre-diabetic. My knees hurt when I climbed stairs, I sweated after walking across campus, and I had constant stomach issues from overeating. But the hardest part? Relationships. I had never been on a real date. I was always the safe friend, the one who gave relationship advice but never had one of her own. Deep down, I thought, maybe this is just my life. Maybe I'll always be the big girl. Until that night at the spring formal. I drove home after the party with the music still ringing in my ears. I shut off the car, sat in the driveway and cried. Really cried. I thought about all the years I'd been hiding, all the times I'd said no to going out because I didn't want to deal with the embarrassment. All the clothes I'd bought 2 sizes too big just to cover myself up. And I thought about the look on my mom's face at my last doctor's appointment when the nurse said, if she doesn't change now, she's going to have full-blown diabetes before she turns 25. That night, I made a promise. I didn't scream it. I didn't write it in a diary. I didn't announce it on social media. I just whispered it to myself. This time, Rachel, you're gonna change. For real. But I also knew something else. I couldn't just diet for a few weeks and then quit, like I always did. I couldn't keep starting over every January. This had to be different. So I made one rule. I would focus on consistency, not perfection. Even if I stumbled, even if I fell, I would not quit this time. The very next morning, I went out and bought a notebook. On the cover, I wrote, Project Me, Day 1. And that was the first step of my new life. The first 2 weeks were brutal. I won't sugarcoat it. I wrote down everything I ate, every calorie, every sip of soda, every handful of chips, and what I saw on paper was horrifying. Some days I was eating 3,500 to 4,000 calories without even realizing it. So I made a plan. I cut out soda completely, just water, black coffee, and unsweet tea. That one change alone saved me hundreds of calories a day. I also downloaded MyFitnessPal and set a calorie goal of 1,800. That felt impossible at first. My body screamed for snacks at night. I would literally sit on my bed, shaking my leg, staring at the vending machine down the hall, fighting the urge to run and buy candy. The gym was worse. I was terrified to go. On my first day, I walked into the campus rec center, and I swear everyone looked fit. I got on the treadmill, started walking, and after 7 minutes, I was drenched in sweat. My face was red, my chest was pounding, and I thought, people are staring, they're laughing at me. But I stayed, 10 minutes the first day, 12 the next, 15 the week after. I kept a log. Week 1, 268 pounds. Week 2, 264. Week 3, 261. When I saw that number drop, I cried again, but this time it was different. It was hope. My clothes started fitting differently. My size 22 jeans were loose in the waist. I had to punch a new hole in my belt. It was small, but it was progress. By month 3, something in me had changed. I realized it wasn't just about the number on the scale. It was about proving to myself that I could keep a promise. Every day I said no to soda. Every time I chose to walk instead of order food. Every time I showed up at the gym when I didn't want to. It built something in me I never had before, discipline. One morning I was walking up the stairs to my 3rd floor class, and halfway up, I realized I wasn't out of breath for the first time in years. I stopped in the middle of the stairwell, put my hand on the rail, and just smiled. I also started getting compliments. A girl in one of my classes said, "Rachel, are you losing weight? You look different." That word, different, fueled me like gasoline on a fire. I started meal prepping on Sundays, chicken, rice, veggies. I packed my lunch for campus instead of grabbing fast food. And I had a morning ritual. Before breakfast, I sat down, wrote in my journal, and reminded myself why I started. It became like armor for the day. The scale kept moving, 250, 240, 230. And with every pound lost, I felt a pound of shame lift off my shoulders too. By the end of my first year, I had lost 65 pounds. When I went home for Christmas break, my family barely recognized me. My uncle hugged me and said, "Rachel, you look incredible." My mom cried when she saw my lab results. Cholesterol normal, blood sugar normal, blood pressure perfect. But the moment that really hit me was at my cousin's wedding. I bought a size 12 dress, half the size I used to wear. I danced all night, not just swaying in the corner, not pretending. I danced in the middle of the floor, laughing, sweating, not caring who was watching. And here's the part that still makes me emotional. People wanted to dance with me, not because of my weight loss alone, but because I was finally glowing with confidence. By the time I graduated college at 24, I had lost 95 pounds, from 268 down to 173. Looking back now, years later, I don't hate the girl I used to be. I used to, but not anymore. Because that girl, the one sitting alone at the party, the one who cried in her driveway, she's the one who finally had the courage to change. She's the reason I'm here today. I learned that discipline beats motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline carries you. I learned that health isn't punishment, it's freedom. I learned that my worth isn't tied to a number on the scale, but to the way I treat myself. I kept my journals, every page, every food log, every weigh-in. Sometimes I flip back through them and smile, remembering how hard it was and how worth it turned out to be. Now I'm 29 years old. I live in Nashville. I work as a marketing coordinator, and I live a life I never thought possible. I hike on weekends. I run 5Ks. I play soccer with my nieces without getting winded. I wear clothes I actually love. I walk into a room and don't feel like I need to hide. And most importantly, I don't let food control me anymore. I control it. If you're listening to this right now and you feel stuck, if you feel like you're too far gone, too big, too tired, too ashamed, please hear me. You are not. If I can do it, you can too. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. You don't need to lose 95 pounds overnight. You just need to make one promise to yourself. Don't quit this time. Start small. Drink water instead of soda. Walk 10 minutes instead of sitting. Write down your food. Keep a journal. And remember this, every step counts. Every choice adds up. Because one day you'll look back and realize the girl sitting alone at the party, She's gone, and in her place is someone strong, confident, and free. That's the gift I gave myself, and it's the gift I hope you give yourself too. Thank you for listening to my story, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more true transformation stories. For those serious about transforming their health, remember, lasting change starts with mastering your mind, eating smart, moving daily, and using the right proven supplements. Our website, weightlossspeech.com, is packed with science-backed diet plans, powerful workouts, and proven supplement tips to help you reach your goals faster.